today we will be discussing a topic that is very pertinent and applicable in our daily lives, and one that affects the bright minds of today and tomorrow's leaders. This building is modest, but the achievements and the results of our students are extraordinary. We, the teachers, aspire to create the best possible learning environment that is inclusive and flexible in order to meet the needs of each individual. Our high performers are our reason to persevere and be persistent in our mission as teachers, as pedagogues. Each one of our countries has its own ways of answering these questions at hand. Today, we will share each other's experiences, and by doing so, we will help each other grow. I believe that today we are going to be very productive. We are going to show our open-mindedness and learn new and exciting things. I hope that we will have an efficient debate, after which we will be able to reflect on all the answers and solutions and collectively come to a resolution that involves the most effective and practical ones. And now, let us continue with our estimated program for the day, an experience I hope you will enjoy, and one which will hopefully lead to a mutually appealing conclusion. Now, I leave the ground to my dear students to declare the debate open.
Thank you, teacher. Good day to everyone from me too. I'm Konstantin, and together with Anita, we will gonna be facilitators on this event. We will guide you through the event, and we will try to explain all your questions, all your dilemmas, and unexplained principles. So first of all, we're gonna start with three introduction videos, when we're gonna show you some principles and some opinions about the students from all over the world. But first, they have done on United States, how the one kind of students, what are those opinions, the curriculum, and how they learn in that school. But also, like all of you are here, we're gonna show the opinions and how teachers look on that kind of students. And after that, we're gonna go to the second and third video. First, let's watch the first video.
Some conflicts with teachers, I guess, in the past.
Probably ADD, maybe it's Asperger's. They were trying to find something that I must be.
They thought I was some kind of deviant creature and hell child.
I just like that. It's something that I find exhilarating.
It's like a passion that's inside you and you just can't not dance.
I think I was 1.5 when I started to read.
I spent about 3 years just being nocturnal and not really doing much of anything.
They were trying to fix me rather than figure me out.
It's almost like falling down the rabbit hole. It's strange and it's wonderful and it's unique. There's lots of areas one can be gifted: linguistically, mathematics, visual, spatial capacity.
It didn't have a lot of properties. All it could do was math.
Applied earth metals are also very reactive.
Let's not make a trick for a second. I'll make a quick trick block there.
Now go over to the 1950s.
And silicon and germanium are used in computer shells.
Bring them out this way. We'll find something that's going to say, blue, black, lights, legs.
What we know for sure is the higher the abilities and the quote-unquote giftedness, the more the child or the adult responds to stimuli. And stimuli stays with them longer.
I've got a whole bunch of these books that are filled with science or history and stuff like that, just because I find that more interesting than everything else.
I knew I was inquisitive. It's like, and he didn't seem so much inclined to go out and play and stay and read a book.
It's really fun for me to learn something like Italian or like math. So I want to do it. It's as simple as that.
What they are is they're very neurologically atypical children. So their experience, their perception, their way of processing is uncommon and extraordinary.
I've always been good at numbers since I was a little young. it really just feels like familiar.
Some gifted kids contrast. They manifest as gifted right across the board. Other gifted kids may manifest or show to us gifts in certain areas and maybe weaker in other areas.
There's this, chaos, this car crash and blender going on up here that it has to come out the end of the pen, and it won't focus.
There's two diagnoses that are on the uprise, and one is bipolar disorder, and another diagnosis that has really been on the upswing for a whole lot of reasons, medical and social and political, is anything on the autism spectrum.
They were just picking things that they could try to match up my qualities with, and so I saw like 4 different psychologists try to figure it out.
Giftedness is no longer funded in many states in the U.S., and in British Columbia there's no longer special funding for giftedness. So parents will actually be somewhat okay with another kind of diagnosis if it means that child will get the kinds of supports they need.
In grade 4, so it started earlier, I was getting really bad stomach aches. I was starting to miss school, for a week at a time, then a month at a time.
It's a struggle. And a lot of teachers think that, this is the bright kid who's going to be fine on their own, and there's really a lot going on.
This kid has a problem, something is wrong with him, we don't know what to do with him.
There's like nothing to diagnose. It's a pretty unique thing.
So here is this medication.
One of the adages in our field is one says a pattern. Often a highly profoundly gifted person will anticipate a pattern or just see it once and then quickly begin to extrapolate.
Seeing patterns in the soccer field is like breathing. I can just see what's going to happen in like 3 minutes.
So the teachers out there, they're doing what the teachers do. They give a baseline generalization, several examples, and you see the gifted kid just turning to nod off.
I can remember for the past 4 years, we've done electricity, and we're saying the same thing over and over again.
You've had this information already, it's not necessary to repeat.
I had done this stuff 2 years ago, and I was like, hey, this is really easy. I need to do something different from standing in board.
I feel like the whole dosage here is not something that I'm interested in. If it's something I'm interested in, somehow I just hear it, even if I'm reading a book and I'm not really paying attention.
So when you're doing review of curriculum in September and October, the gifted kid has checked out. And then he begins to lose faith that the leaders, the educators, the administrators, have any idea at all about how to teach, because clearly they're missing out on how this particular mind needs to work.
I like to learn about things, but I like to learn my way.
Boy, I think it's, what other ways can we solve this problem?
Some kids really demonstrate they do get it and are met oftentimes with misunderstanding, or teachers who no longer kind of are comfortable with it. What do you do with a child who might even be more intelligent than you in some areas?
My grade 7 teacher didn't like me because he didn't know what to do with me.
My favorite hate in school is going home.
That's really, really sad, because this is a little child who's absolutely primed to learn. She reads at about a grade 10 level in kindergarten, and you can write a story like that. The whole notion of what is a peer. There were children here today who were age 4 or 5 and who are reading and comprehending at a grade 12 level. They get together and it's just instant. It's like, I can be free. I don't have to scream like a box.
It's fun because I have to actually somewhat understand me. We can connect.
They can sort of understand most of what I'm saying, because some of the other people will just sit there and be like, okay, I heard you were saying a word, but what did you say?
To meet someone else that can function at their level is just a huge excitement.
You just fall in love with these incredible kids who, with their immense power, often have incredible vulnerabilities, and you just feel compelled to make a difference for them.
Seems like me, my own perspective on what actually is going on. I tend to be programmed with a little computer. I had to, gain a self-awareness. And
Sort of place people around me that sort of created an environment where I guess I felt more comfortable.
Just having somebody be like, you're okay, like, it's okay to be who you are. I think that definitely saved me from going down some pretty scary paths.
They're highly motivated as a group of individuals to contribute and to make a difference, which runs sort of counter to what some people think about the egotistical genius.
I'm really interested in teaching, so if I can do that as well as continue to make art.
And eventually what I would like to end up doing is using my art to sort of communicate to people about nature, maybe help influence trends.
Try and solve humanity's problems, like you design a cure for cancer.
We can't lose this wonderful aspect of humanity that just wants to contribute and to make a difference. Like, it really needs to matter to all of us.
You know, I want to do it all, right? There's so much stuff to do now. It's, you know, palette of human experience is so broad and vast.
I would describe myself as a person who likes to think outside the box.
I never expected myself to fit norm or to be normal.
When I dance, I feel graceful and beautiful, like, because the movement is just so nice.
I'm really interested in things, like perhaps obsessively so, and that's okay with me.
There's a lot of talk about IQ scores and achievement, but that really doesn't get to the core of what being gifted is.
I'm happy with who I am today, even though it came about in a strange way.
As we could see, this video was done in the United States, but the main point is that all of the countries and the continents, even if we are not in the same continent, we have the same opinions. The high performance students have the same misunderstanding, same feelings, same values, and in their school they have some problems, like they said, and like other professors said about high performance students and about the curriculum of United States. But we are here to encourage you to share your opinion and to present your country, about what you think about high performance students and how the curriculum should be and how we're going to master on this kind of students.
Good day, everyone. I'm Monika, and I just want to say thank you for coming. And the next thing we'll be showing you is a video me and a special group of people made interviewing high performance students from our own school. And you'll see them answering questions like what motivates them to go to competitions and how they keep going. So, enjoy.
čiji osnovna neka cijela i upravo ta sporazum su drugim umjetničkim rodnije može mnogo da shvatimo naša umjetnička vrijednost, da li naša dodjela imanje su umjetnička vrijednost. I upravo to je mnogo
students have, like what motivates them to go on and start and not give up. So the next thing we're going to show you is how professional psychologists and psychiatrists and professors define the term high performer. And it's a little slideshow we put on, so enjoy that as well. How do you recognize and work with high performer students? The second one is, what do you do to motivate high performer students? And the third one is, how do your competent institutions support high performer students, and what does the curriculum for them look like? So,
every on these three questions, we have 10 minutes to present your opinions, all of your work, and these three questions are one kind of frame for every topic about high performer students. But the main point is these questions are not fixed questions, and it's just because to help you, to show you the right way to how to present this kind of topic. So you have 10 minutes to prepare this with your group and by presenting your country, and after that you're gonna have 5 minutes to present your opinions, but we have 10 or 15 more seconds just bonus to finish your thoughts.
Tá.
Catriel, do meu lado. Professora Marcos, você vai ajudar.
Number 3. San Mateo.
You have 2 more minutes, but please hurry.
Okay. Hurry.
Ja, van verschillende dingen inderdaad. Alleen maar
So I'm from the Austrian team, and I just can talk about students who have talents in sports, because our focus in our school is in sports. We teach children from 12 to 15, and at our school there are the weaker students, so we can't talk about high performer students, just about students who have a special talent in sports. And our students who have special talents in sports get their help from the educated teachers who have special education in sports. And at our school we have 2 students who are highly talented in mountain biking. They are already at the age of 13 and 14 in the Austrian junior team. And we also had a student who is in the Austrian ice hockey team. So our teachers noticed or realized the talent, and their parents did, of course, the main job to get them that they came to as far as they are now, as they're ranking in the Austrian teams. So that's our focus, and the teachers support them and the school supports them, that they can go to the competitions. Whenever there is a competition, they get free from our school. And as there is a focus on sports, they get trained in exercises and in doing sports more than usual. So that's our thing we can do to recognize their talent. And the motivation is that they get sports diplomas, and the sports diplomas are on the wall, or there is a newspaper which the students get every half year, and they are written in this, and there is a report about them in this newspaper, and sometimes there is a meeting in the school hall where these students get their diploma from us. They got from the Austrian team or from the Styrian team, because there are not just only those who are in an Austrian team, but there are all others who are in a team, in the Styrian team or the local team. They have successes in that way. So that's how we can do for our students.
Thank you for your opinions and your speech. So let's move on.
Just a second.
Yes,
Belgium, you are next. So.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. First of all, we put this big question mark because we think actually every student is a little bit, has some talent. Everybody can do something good, so that's why the big question mark is it only one subject? What we see two definitions, was only one subject of all the subjects that they are good in. But every student is good in some subject, and some have to work hard for it. Some have it by their own, they just snap and they know what to do. Some have to work hard. Some go and have to work hard and want to go further with it. Some have to do nothing and have it, but they don't do anything about it. They just go in another direction. So it's very different for all kind of people. We also said multiple intelligence. That means that it's not only IQ, like math, but also languages, sports, or music.
Creativity,
Yes.
drama. So, in fact, we were looking for a definition for high-performance students. We were asking what does it mean, a high-performance student? Is it a talented student, or is it someone who can really perform in one subject or others?
Yes. I think we better go to the
first
one.
question.
We recognize them that they are finished early with the subject. They do more. They ask deeper questions about your subject. They are more independent. For example, with sports, that they can do it on their own. What do we do about it? I'm a sport teacher, so if there's a good volleyball player, I put them with less volleyball players and they have to help them. That's what we do also.
Yeah, we can give them more exercises. We motivate them to participate at activities and competitions. We propose them to do several things like being in the school band, the music school band, or participate at the competitions of language, of sports, of mathematics, physics, poetry, drama, and these several things are not the same for for every student, so they can choose their activities and their competitions.
Yes. Thank you.
I request the representatives of Italy to start.
Okay, as our Belgian colleague already told us, the most difficult thing is to find out at the very beginning the high performance students, because you have to find out them from talented or high performer. But we started, we thought about it, and we thought that we try to recognize high performance students thanks to the different approach that they have to the problem. because high-performance students maybe are not those students who study a lot, lots of hours, but they can reach the same goal in a little time, in less time than the others. So, and it is the approach they have to the problems. They see the problems, and what do they do in front of a problem? They can figure out different scenarios, different ones, and they are able to find the right and the best solution in a very little time. That was we think are the high performance students. And they can do it easily without, it seems that it's easy to find that solution. The solution comes to them in a very easy way and in a very short time. What do we do to motivate them? We do competitions. We have different kinds of competition in our school. We have the Olympics in mathematics, in physics, in chemistry, in foreign language. And I think that this is very important because they have the opportunity to meet people that are gifted, talented, high performers as they are, and they have a wiser, let's say, they can compete with people that are at their same levels, because usually in class they are the best. So they can meet people that are at the same level, and to do their best, they have to do their best to emerge in that particular situation. And this motivates them. The school gives these students opportunities, because when they are in high school, they have the opportunity to emerge. But after school, we don't know. It's the world that they have to make their own way in the world. It is true that very good students have the opportunity to get scholarships and to be granted for their studies, but who knows?
The other thing about the question number 3 is that usually the high-performing students that comes up from our school, especially in physics and maths, before ending the school, they have contact, for example, with the National Institute of Nuclear Physics in L'Aquila. And sometimes they have the opportunity to spend time inside that during the university. And this is one of the things that still comes from high school. We don't know what happens outside. And I think this is one of the problems that came out from the video.
Because I said we'd like to be granted or to receive a scholarship, but unfortunately sometimes we don't have this opportunity. And we have in Italy, I think, the same problem. Because some of our high-performance students after school are left alone. And I think that they are not big enough, or they are not able to find the right way unless they have families that can help them. Because there are many, so many schools lacking this.
Thank you.
Netherlands, you're up next. Netherlands, you're up next.
We're ready. Okay. In Holland, it's for a few years that we have high-performance program, because first they were very keen to look at children with special needs, they were more important than the other ones. So we are also thinking about how to recognize high-performing students. And now they start at primary schools. It's also from our government, who is interested to develop more of those things, that they are going to look to high-performing students. And there are possibilities, for example, to do 2 years in one. And how do you recognize them? We think is they are very quick, so they can do 2 years in 1 year. They ask complex questions, which I recognize from other countries which are saying that. They think further than obviously, and what we noticed also, they can extremely be motivated or unmotivated. So it's not only the one who has very high grades, which is a high performing student. You have to look further, we think. You can also have students who have not such high grades, but what is happening over there? Is it too simple, for example?
Nowadays you have in Holland also new schools for children who are high-performing students. The problem at this moment is only that the rich parents can buy their way into the school because they are private schools. We also have the Leonardo school. It's for children who really have a high IQ. We motivate the high-performing students with special programs if they are in secondary school. If they are in school like this, high school. They can have programs like Lego League, Robotica, kangaroo classes. It's something that is under construction at this moment. They want to let the students have their graduation for 1 degree, 1 year earlier, like English or mathematics. All these things have a dark side in our society. We have a lot of parents who believe that the high performance students are always their children. So monthly they spend a lot of money in Holland on their children, so they can test them a lot. They can help them with several tests, like the IQ test. So they can give us the feeling, we teachers, that they really are talented. But when we have them, their parents are talented with spending money, not spending money. That's the problem. Our society has changed. Since 2 weeks we have a new government in Holland, and we want to, I think they want to bring the high-performance students and the excellent programs one step higher, further. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Elena. Now we are going to Spain. So you will Spain. I can help you.
Met social namens gedaan en allemaal aan iedereen heeft. Oh, dat hebben we echt en dan wat
nowadays, because in the past they would have a lot of problems to recognize them in the school, and they even didn't finish the secondary or the primary school for that. So nowadays we have a lot of specialty in the schools. We are recognize them by the different approach to solve problems, even misbehavior in the classroom. Although we have to take into account that most of these students can be high performance, for example, in maths, but they have a lack of tools to develop language to write properly in other science. And another problem we have to find is that sometimes they don't know socialize. They are isolated during the break time. In our school we have one special group for autistic, and one of the students that is high performance is autistic too, and he's integrated with the rest of the students. The way to motivate this student in Spain is they study in superior levels. They can finish 2 courses in once. They have a lot of extracurricular activities for them. They can go to the university Saturdays or Sunday morning to study maths and robotics and so on. And occasionally we have silent meetings in maths, chemistry and Latin for them that they can compete with each another. And to motivate them, we have scholarships for them. They have a lot of help for the state. And they can take part in a special education project. They have high school for them when they can study the previous year to go to the university. So I think from our point of view, nowadays they are better than they was in the past. So.
Maximilian Professor Group, you are up next.
Can I have your attention, please, guys? Okay. The question isn't so difficult, how to recognize a high performer student. I think that first of all, we can notice that they always ask for more information. They're always curious. They always want to receive more from the teacher. They're always just like this with their hands. Then, I think they always finish the task given by the teacher. Maybe a little bit earlier than the rest of the class. So there you can notice that he really or she really must have a gift of that subject. Then they're fast learners. They always learn on time and they can relate with the subject. Next thing is they're really creative. They always find different solutions for the problem.
Because I'm a maths teacher, I always find myself happy when the students find another solution than mine. So they are very creative and I always ask for them to represent the solution in front of the other students.
And they're usually very proud if they find another solution beside yours.
Yes, and we represent the 2 or maybe 3 solutions from the board, so the other students can see how the task can be solved.
Another thing maybe really important is that they aren't aware of their abilities. I think that the high performance students and the talented students can be seen in the corner just sitting by themselves and maybe isolated from the other students. How can we work with this type of students? We can give them additional tasks, giving them additional books, instructions. You can encourage them to search more on the internet, to learn from the internet, to receive new ideas, to learn something more beside the curriculum which is represented to them. Then encourage them to enter competition, just to prove themselves, to see what they achieved, what they learned from the teacher. The second one, how to motivate them. You should involve them in projects like this one, or maybe work on different projects with them to come up with their own ideas how to present something, how to be involved in different kind of projects, maybe in abroad, not just in the country, in the main country. Then getting awards and recognition for their work. That's maybe the thing that is driving them through life, through high school, through elementary school. And the third question, unfortunately, in our country, there aren't any competent institutions. The sad truth is that the students are made and obligated to pay the fee for the competition. They do not receive any kind of financial help and support from the institution or by the school. I think that that's the main problem why children aren't entering in competition. Because maybe some parents aren't wealthy enough to pay for the children to enter the competition. And sadly, that's the main problem in our country. I'm not familiar with your countries, but that's the sad truth in our country. So maybe, and very often, I'm really embarrassed. I'm two upcoming competitions now in our country on subject of English. I'm really embarrassed to ask for my students to pay for the competition. It's not much, it's €5, but I'm really embarrassed to ask them to pay for the competition. I think that that isn't fair for the student, and that isn't fair for the teacher, for the parents as well. Because if they are good enough, if they are talented, if they are high-performing students, they should be rewarded. We should pay them the fee to enter the competition. I think that that's the thing that really bothers me and the rest of my colleagues. Thank you so much for your time.
Last but not the least, the seventh group is going to present, but this now not the professors, but the students.
In our school system, there is application of several principles. We have the longitudinal principle, principle of democracy, principle of biosocial optimality, principle of multidisciplinarity, therefore, continuous monitoring from a young age of the work of all students, identification of students who stand out in certain fields of interest by a group of competent people such as teachers, school counselors, psychologists, and pedagogues. The students are organized in regular classes with optional additional classes that are individually defined by the teachers and the students, composed of students who deserve special attention which they receive when the needs of all students are met. Recognition. We give them words of praise from classmates and professors, written acknowledgement for their efforts such as certificates, diplomas, a list of students who stand out, etc. Involvement in school projects. The teachers let it be known that these students are appreciated by their school and that they are trustworthy. Scholarships. We have scholarships for high-performing students that are given by the Ministry of Education, scholarships from private companies and private schools. In our classes, there is no division between students so that high-performing students do not feel isolated, bored, rejected, but they still get the necessary attention, and the rest of the students do not feel neglected.
Alright, so this was the point of view of the students for these three questions. Now we're going to take a short break. And I'm going to ask you to be back here in 15 minutes so we can keep on going. Yeah, we have drinks in the next door. Hello again. I hope everyone had a few minutes to clear their mind and have a good rest and everything. So the next thing we're going to do is, from all the presentations, we picked 5 topics that we're going to try to discuss. So the first one is why should we divide the students and treat high-performing students differently? The second one is why should the diplomas be handed out in front of all the other students? The third one is why should the high-performing students get more work than the others? The fourth, why are sports treated as less important than the other subjects? And how should we push the high-performing students to success? So we're going to go back to the other slides, but I'm going to explain to you the system we're going to use to vote to have the 3 most important ones so we can discuss them thoroughly and everything. And if we have time, we can go back to the other 2. So as you can see on the board, we have 5 stickers, and next to each sticker we have the worthiness of the sticker. So the first one is 5 points, the 4 to 3, etc. So the first group, aka Austria, will vote for the question they deem most important with the sticker with most points. So if you think that the second question is the most important one, you should put 5 points for the second question. So is everyone clear on that? All right. So you can show the slides again so you can see the questions. Yeah. question are going to be discussed. So the first one is, why should we divide the students and treat high-performance students differently? Yeah, so you can write it down. Why should we divide the students and treat high-performance students differently? The third one is, why should the high-performance students get more work than the others? And the fifth one is, how should we push the high-performance students to success?
Okay, in this part of the debate, the second part, we can all group have 2 minutes to present yourselves, but on every topic. First, we're going to start with the first topic. You have 2 minutes to discuss. After every country, every group finish, we're going to move on the third topic. Also 2 more minutes, and after that, to the last fifth topic, you have 2 more minutes. But we're going to work on the same principle. Victor and Marvin are going to count. But like I mentioned before, respect your time and the time of other teams. So you may have 1 minute or 30 seconds more to finish your thoughts, and give the Austria team, or maybe we can give some minutes, like a break, to prepare yourself for these 3 topics, maybe 5 minutes. Is everyone deal with this? It's enough 5 minutes to finish? Okay, maybe we can start with 5 minutes, and after that we will see if it's enough or not.
Okay, so how this is going to work is each group is going to have 2 minutes to talk about the topic, and then when every group finishes, we're going to leave a couple of minutes for questions. If any group has questions to direct to any other group, aka any other country. So we can start with Austria.
That's okay. This time our headmaster is going to do this.
All right.
I'm not a high-performance student in English, but the rest of the question is number 1. How should we push the high-performance?
Yeah, we can start with number 5.
The students.
Because we give 5 points
Yeah,
to
okay.
this. We think these pupils are very a treasure for a school, and we shouldn't lose them. And so it's very, very important to give them self-confidence and that they are not go to isolation. And to the second question, it's in our list.
Yeah, we were thinking you could have 2 minutes to talk about the 5th question only, so we could get.
I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, then you can take.
Okay.
Sorry, before we continue, I would like to ask you something. Do you mind if I count the time on my phone, because I would like to have the questions so I will remind you about each
Okay, how should we push the high-performance students to success? Well, first of all, we think we don't need to push every high-performance student. Some students stop working when you push them, or when you push them too much. We rather think we want to motivate them to participate in different activities, but we don't want to push them that much that they have the feeling they have to participate. If they want to, they can. If they don't want to, that's okay as well. But we want them to give them the opportunity to participate. But most of all, we think we have to just push them and motivate them a little, just enough to protect themselves against bore-outs. So high performance students won't fall back, won't be waiting on less performing students, so they don't bore themselves or get boring in classroom, and they stop because they just don't like it anymore. What was it?
Thank you, Belgium. Italy, you're next.
Now, we gave 5 for the last question. Because we think that it is, we agree with you, you don't need to push them so much, otherwise it's too much for them. But we think that our task is to help them, to challenge them, to develop a critical thinking. And this needs to be then reported together with the other students. That's why we gave the last point to the first question.
Netherlands.
Houston, we have a problem because we disagree. It's a debate. So we
Okay, well, you both can present.
we both agree that you shouldn't push, but can we share our opinion? I think you have to speak with students and understand them and show them that you see that you see him, and that you ask him what do you want to do? What are your strong sides and how do you want to develop them? So just to talk with the student, you can push him a little bit further, but push in a kind way by speaking with the student. But we have a discussion about intrinsic motivation. I think it's from the student side we need to do something. And we are not agreeing
I want to stimulate their intrinsic motivation, and we are wondering how you can do that.
How you can stimulate intrinsic motivation.
It's the only key to success. But then they really want to perform, otherwise not. They only perform for you.
That's it? That's it?
Spain, yours is.
So we choose another training tester, and we think that is because they need the more psychological support to successful life mainly, because some of them are isolated of the rest of the society, and to mainly with the chance of meeting people of the same IQ, no? To be with the same kind of people and to solve interest.
The master members now.
Actually, this is a specific question. How should we push the high students to succeed? Actually, not to push them, but we should increase creativity. And this is more, if we talk about to push somebody, to push the students, is more about for the shy students, because shy students, they know everything, but they're very shy to say things. And so that's what the teachers have to motivate them and to push them to go higher, whatever they want to succeed in that. So I think that's enough. And even though, I just want to add, maybe this is not in the question, but also the teachers in Macedonia should be motivated, because we do this for nothing. We work with the students, we do our best, and because we are enthusiastic, we do this for no money. You know, the Minister of Education does not give us anything about that. That's it.
We also agree that high performance students shouldn't be pressured into something that they don't want to do. So that's why we feel like they deserve more freedom to express themselves in their fields of interest. And also the teachers should be able to provide them with help for more in-depth researches.
Excuse me, now we have maybe 2 or 3 more minutes to discuss or to ask any question about other country to start one kind of debate. So is there any question about other country, about this topic? If there's no question, we can move on.
Yeah.
Question. Yeah, question?
Thanks for letting me to give me this opportunity to add something. I would like to ask the Belgian team, which I think, in my opinion, we should cross a line between pushing and forcing. Because let's say there's a child that is 10 years old and he or she is not capable of realizing things around his or herself. So we are those who will guide, like not giving orders, but like guidelines to let that child know that she is high performer or talented. Excuse me. So as I remember, you said that we are not supposed to push them, but by pushing them, we are somehow helping them in their near or further future to become better as a person and also in their career. So I would like to ask you your opinion or to give me some in-depth explanation for why are we not supposed to push them, if you want, please.
Well, I think there's a difference between pushing a student and pushing a student. As a teacher working with students, after a while you get a sense when students are more capable than what they are doing. And then you have to push them, and then you can tell a student, well, you're doing great, but I think you can do better. I think you can do this. And at first, students are happy you tell them, and they are glad because you recognize them, but they don't start performing better. They don't start performing higher. And then you go on doing this. You push them a bit more. You tell them again, you are doing great. Try to do this now. And after a while, some students, not all of them, some students will perceive this as, well, there's the teacher again. She will be telling me, or he will be telling me, I'm doing great again. I'm getting sick of this. I'm not going to do this anymore. And that's what I meant, but we don't have to push them all the time. We can push them, and we can help them get to the next level, trying to help them to get more than they are doing right now. But I don't think we have to do it with every student all the time.
Yes.
I hope this is an answer to your question.
Yes. The pleasure was mine.
I think also here with the intrinsic motivation is very like let the student see by itself that it's better to do something, but if it's not coming from the student, also you have to try sometimes, because the intrinsic motivation is not from one day to another. Sometimes you have to push a student a little bit, and then he or she sees that she or he is motivated for that. So that was a good question about the intrinsic motivation. How should we let the students know what's good for them, or that he or she is motivated for it? But I don't know the answer right now. It's a discussion. Yeah, you have to think about it.
Thank you for the question. Thank you for answering the question. Now we move on the third question, on the third topic. And now we're going to discuss the same principle, the same 2 minutes. And after that, any question about any other country. So we can start with Austria. Your turn.
Why should the high performance students get more work than others. Is this? I think not more work from the same. And that's the answer. Jelle said this. And I think sometimes the high-performance students are very crazy people, and they have their own minds and they have their own feeling, and let them. And if it's possible in one point to challenge them, I think that's a good way to give them good self-confidence. Thank you.
Belgium, you're up
Why should we give high-performance students more work than other students? Well, we don't think we need to give them more work. We think it's better to give them other work. If we give them more work, at some point they will perceive this as a punishment. Because other students, if they are not cooperating in class, we tend to give them more work to do at home as a punishment. And they have to do this more work in class, so it's a punishment for them after a while. So we think it's better to give them other work rather than more work.
Okay, let's move on and we switch the countries.
Let's mix it up a little. So.
Yep, but if you're ready, we can move on.
I'm very quick, because I think that we are perfectly in line with what Belgium said, because more work can be like a punishment. Other work, different work, so that they can be challenged at different levels, probably the solution. And even this, we do not have to insist so much, because otherwise we will tease them too much.
Thank you.
Macedonian group, let's go with the students. Let's see what you have to say.
Why should high-performance students get more work than the other students? Because they maybe not as much as more work, but they are curious. They want to go in depth with what they are learning, and they are quick learners, and they finish their schoolwork faster. So that can result in them feeling bored and unstimulated. So they deem the amount of information given to them insufficient, so they want to learn more about what their interest is.
Spain, now it's your turn.
We decided that this solution to give them more job, work, but as you said before, not the same work, but a different way in order to support them and to push them to success. So.
Now Netherlands.
We are in line with our work, it's better. All things are already said, and we think also other work is better than more work. Otherwise it will be felt as a punishment.
Thank you. Now Macedonian, the last group.
The team here thinks that getting any additional information is not a punishment. It's like a cure for these students, and they are more brave to show the things they get well. So they are fast learners. They make researches on the internet in a second. They are maybe better than us teachers in some ways. So they are eager to learn, and they get the things very fast. So that's all.
Now is the last for the voting point. Yeah, but first about the questions. Is there any question about the third topic? Any country?
I think
that.
Sorry?
Yeah, oh, sorry. I didn't see you.
Now, our policy in Italy is that all the students need to be together, without any reference to their level of performance. And also because we think that mixed groups grow better and more. So to separate students is not things that in our, it doesn't respect our policy. Also because we think that the social aspects, to be together, respect each other, important as much as the performance. So they need, high performance students need also to be together, work with normal students, probably helping them, but they cannot be treated so much differently. That's what we think.
If it is, we will make a question. Is correct? Is it true for every country, for every group? His opinion? Or if it's not, maybe we can stand up and share.
For us, it's really okay because we have many special needs pupils in our school, and the integration is one thing, and from the difference we can learn very, very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. If you have a question? Yes.
In the Netherlands, we have different schools which have different kind of teaching, because we have tried to mix all groups and it worked, but there are also some negative sides. And we have split all the levels. At our school, all levels are split. And there are positive and negative things. I can't say which one is better, because when they are mixed, the weaker student can help the stronger student, can help the weaker student, etc. And it worked. And we have split levels. It worked also because you can accelerate. If you are in a mixed group, it's sometimes difficult to accelerate. And if you are in split levels, it's much more easier. So I don't think there is any good or bad thing about mixed split levels.
Thank you. Is there any other question, other opinion? Or we can move on the first topic? Okay. We can move on. The first topic, the third of the voting, is why should we divide the students and treat high performance students differently? Maybe we can start with Spain. Your first.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah. My opinion.
We just did the first one.
We were talking about
everybody was talking about dividing, and that's the first topic. So we just covered the first topic completely.
It was not, yeah.
Yeah, but now we can move on debate, because I don't think so that every, not country, not every group, but every individual have the same opinion. So, if anyone wants to say something, you can say. Italy? Spain? No, not take it. Okay, no.
So the fourth topic was, why are sports treated as less important than the other subjects? And I think that we just proved that with the fact that it was the least voted out of all of the 5 topics. So why is this happening? Why don't we encourage sports? It's just as important as the other topics. Why is it always falling behind? Thank you.
I think sports isn't less important than any other subject. More so, I can say for Belgian schools, we have a lot of things we do with sports. We have, when we have a cultural activity in our school every 2 or 3 years, where students can show off their talents, sports is very important. We participate in after-school competitions with sporting teams, way more than we do with Latin, mathematics, French, etc. We have special coaches within our school that support sports. What I do understand is when it comes to the report card, that for some students and for some subject courses, sports are less important when the student is less good in sports, and then they will say, well, he's better at arts, he's better at, and by the life choices he's making, by the choices he's making for his career, sports isn't that important. But we also have students where sports is really important, and there we look at that as well. So we know what students want to do, and we look at that and we give them the opportunities. So it's not always true, and I think voting on these topics, well, there's always one that has to go first, always one that has to go last, and that doesn't mean the last one is that much less important than the first one.
Any other opinion about the fourth topic, about the sports? Because they're not, and like you mentioned that the last is not least, so we can move on the second topic about why should the diplomas be hanging out in front of all of other students. Any opinions about the diplomas and how diplomas should work?
Well, I think that it's very good to hand out the diplomas in front of other students because that's a way to inspire everybody. Because when you see that one of your peers has done something great, you think to yourself, why don't I do that? I can do that as well. I think it motivates us far more.
Thank you. Any other opinion about the diplomas? Or how in your country the diplomas works? You have in every aspect, in every sport or in every subject diplomas for that or no? Maybe Italy can share your opinions?
In high school we don't give diplomas in front of everybody. Usually they go after the exam, they go to the office, wait a couple of years because they are not ready immediately.
That's not a problem.
Because they need it to attend university, but it is not typical of Italy. They tried years ago, but stopped immediately. Something very private, you go there to the office, can you give me the diploma, please? Very tough to get
Netherlands is the same situation in your country?
We have special evenings where all the parents are coming, all the students are coming, and they get a diploma. The teachers do some theater, they are singing for the students, and when the diploma is there are tables, and you can set your handwriting on the diploma, and you get applause, and then you go sitting with your parents and enjoy the evening. And that's for every level, every class. All students who have done their exams are participating, and the teachers as well.
Thank you. Any other opinion? Okay, thank you. Because we finished the second part about this debate, about the three main questions, the main topics, and other two. So maybe we can start about the final, to finalize everything, and the final speech with the dear teacher.
The final speech. So, I think that we discussed all the basic questions that we find out that are basic for us. So, a lot of different opinions, a lot of different countries here, but at the end, everything is the same, according to me. So, if we do not have any other questions, I declare the debate closed. Now, I propose for the guests to have an organized lunch, so we can continue there. The students will finish it up here. I will stay with them. And Slavica is going to be with the rest of the guests, but before that, we have our principal here, so she wants to say